This is the first season of The Last of Us. Joel is played by Pedro Pascal, who lives a normal life with his daughter. The zombie apocalypse rudely cuts Sarah off in the middle of her story. Things get bad very fast. When the army saves them, a zombie is about to get them, but the army isn't taking any risks. Everyone is being shot, and Joel's daughter, Sarah, dies in his arms. Now, after 20 years, all of society has ended. Joel lives in the Boston quarantine zone, which is not a great place to live. He started smuggling to make extra money, and his goal right now is to get a car. But Tess, Joel's partner, girlfriend, whatever, tells them there's a problem. They were going to buy a battery from a certain person, but he sold it to someone else. Now, let's meet Ellie, a girl who is being held hostage by the Fireflies. She is very smart, but she has a very bad mouth. A rebel group that fights against the Fedra, which is what's left of the military and is essentially a military regime. They also want a car to get Ellie out of town. They are the ones who bought Joel's battery, in fact. But the deal went bad and the battery was a dud anyway, so it's like, hey, Joel, we'll pay you to get Ellie out here. So Joel, Tess, and Ellie leave the quarantine zone. Post-apocalyptic Boston is beautiful in its own way, but it is full of zoo. But they're not like the zombies you usually see. This show is cool because it's made by a fungus called the cordyceps, which takes over your brain. So instead of living bodies, this show has mushroom zombies, which are probably even grosser. They run into an advanced version, a clicker, because the mushrooms have covered their eyes, made them blind. But they click to find you with echolocation and know it coming at you. It's really hard to kill these things. And we find out what makes Ellie so special is that she was bit but has not turned. She doesn't get sick, and the Fireflies are hoping that she's the key to finding a fix. But everyone is dead at the Firefly base, which is more bad news. Tess was bitten, so she stays behind as a bunch of zombies come after them, and oh no, it's the gross mushroom zombie kiss. But Tess gives up her life with the lighter and the gas boom, so Joel and Ellie get gone. So the new plan is for Joel to take Ellie to Wyoming, where he originally wanted to go to find his brother Tommy. They stopped at Bill and Frank's place to get some things. Bill was a doomsday prepper type who turned this town into a nice little property. Bill met Frank one day, and it's a great scene that stands on its own. A beautiful love story about the end of the world that made me cry when they died together. But as for what Joel and Ellie did for the story, they get their truck. So now Joel and Ellie are on the road. Then, Joel is a real grouch at first. He's like a kid. You're just goods. But Ellie's excitement as a young person starts to warm up his cold heart. She finds a book of bad jokes and reads them all the time. Joel starts to like this kid, but in Kansas City, they get attacked and get into trouble. Joel Lowe is on vibrators one, and Ellie has to shoot him. Now, everyone in the city is looking for him. But these raiders aren't like the others. These are our rebels who just got rid of a really bad government, but the revolution is getting out of hand. They're also looking for this nice guy named Henry. He and his younger brother, Sam, work with Joel Ellie to sneak out of the city, but a shooter stops them on the way. Joel gets rid of him, but not before he calls for help. Everyone is here now. Henry is going to die to save the children. What's this, though? In any zombie story, the real monsters are the people. Don't forget, though, that there are also zombies. There was a huge group of people living underground here, including this huge monster with hard mushroom scales all over its body. As our group runs out of there, it's a tense scene. Near the end, they're almost caught, but a little kid's clicker saves them. Unfortunately, the newly independent Kansas City is overrun, and there's more bad news. Oh no, Sam was bit. So, he uses her magic blood to try to save him. Of course, that's not how it works, and he fights. Henry responds by shooting his zombie brother. But that's too much for him to handle, and sometimes this whole show is very sad. But life goes on, and Mando and Baby Yoda keep doing what they are doing. So, after a few months of traveling together, Joel is still a grouch, but he really likes this kid. They finally make it to the town of Happy Survivors, where Joel meets his brother Tommy again. But I'm like, hey bro, I can't stay right now. I have to save the world by getting this kid with the Fireflies. And there's a lot of feeling. Like Joel's scared he can't protect Ellie and Tommy's gonna be a father. But Joel and get his horse because he helped with the main story. They go to college in Colorado, where there was a science lab where Fireflies worked. Unfortunately, it's abandoned. Everyone seems to have gone to Salt Lake City, but now some raiders are here, and Joel has to kill this guy so they can get away. But, sadly, Joel really hurt himself. Jill's like, hey girl, just leave me. Ellie won't do that, though. She's not going to lose anyone else she cares about. At the federal school, we learn about her past, but her best friend was going to join the Fireflies. Last night, they had a magic moment at the abandoned mall. They both said they liked each other, but then a zombie came in and bit them both. Ellie had to kill her zombie friend, which was sad, and then she found out she was immune. Now that Ellie is out hunting, she meets two guys who seem nice at first but are actually part of the group that attacked the hospital where Joel was killed. When they come out, they are forced to kill Joel. Lucky for Joel, he's better enough. He gets the jump on this guy and goes into beast mode as he questions them. Where's Ellie? Even though this guy tells him, Joel still kills him. The other dude's like, yo, he was telling the truth. Joel says, yeah, I believe him, and then he kills this other guy. No pity. So Ellie is a prisoner, but David, the head of this group, is being nice to her because he wants her to join them. It's like, hey, man, why are you so interested in me? And they say, oh, because he's a child molester. Ellie doesn't want to do that. She'd rather fight to the end. And it turns out this guy is in charge of a cult that eats people. It's like, okay, plan B. We're going to eat you. Ellie gives him pause. When she tells them she's sick and they think, oh, she should just get out of there. She gets stuck in the restaurant that's on fire, and it's a dangerous game of hide and seek. But Ellie finally gets the jump on him, and she's sure this guy's going all the way. She's pretty scared when Joel catches up to her. He tells her not to worry because she is safe now. From his point of view, Ellie is his real daughter. As they make their last trip to Salt Lake City, they see a really cool thing, a giraffe just chilling out and eating leaves. It's a wonderful post-apocalyptic scene that reminds us that life goes on and that there's light even in the dark. Joel tells Ellie that he tried to kill himself after his daughter died. And Ellie is like, wow, I guess time heals all wounds. But he says it wasn't the right time. Each of these two has helped the other. It is so nice. But enough with the SAPs. They're back to making bad jokes until, oh, the Firefly guard catches them. Joel is like, what's going on? Where's Ellie? And Marlene says, well, I have some good news and some bad news. It turns out that Ellie's mom got sick when she was giving birth, so it looks like the fix is going to work. All right, that's great. What bad news do you have? The bad news is that giving Ellie the cure will kill her. For Joel, that's the worst thing that could happen, but hey, I'm sorry, there's no other way. But all Joel cares about is making sure Ellie is safe. So, he turns on the light bugs and gets away. He's going to do whatever it takes to save Ellie, even if it means shooting up a hospital full of people who might be good and trying to save them. And this is not a great action scene because Joel turns into a beast to save Ellie's life. Instead, it's a frightening scene because Joel has stopped feeling anything and kills everyone in the building without mercy. He gets there in time to stop the surgery, kills the doctor, and gets Julie out of there. This is a complicated moral situation with many different sides. All through the show, Joel's desire to protect Ellie has been a good thing, but this may not be what's best for Ellie, and Joel's selfishness has just doomed the world. Like, you're not really saving her, Marlene tells him. Even though the world is still an end of the world hellscape, Joel doesn't even see it as a problem. No matter what, he's going to save Ellie and kill Marlene. So, when Ellie wakes up, Joel tells her a lie, that the fix wasn't going to work. Anyway, then the raiders came and killed all the fireflies, so this whole trip was a waste of time. They find their way back to Tommy's town, where they live a pretty normal, happy life after the end of the world. But Ellie is smart, and Joel's story didn't make a lot of sense. She says to Joel, was that really what happened? And Joel won't let Ellie feel bad about his mistakes. He says, yes, it. And Ellie probably has a feeling that he's lying, but she says, okay. And that's the last episode of the first season. If you liked this summary, click the follow button to get more of the best TV and movie summaries.